Join me to paint this beautiful winter scene using watercolor. We will paint a softly glowing street lamp at the center with snow covered trees nearby. I'm cutting the masking tape to place over the lantern area so it stays clean white while I paint around it. I cut the masking tape so that it's wider at the top and narrower at the bottom with slanted sides to match the shape of the street lamp. I place this masking tape onto the watercolor paper. After that, I wet the entire paper using clean water. While wetting the paper, we need to be careful not to add too much water to the surface. Next, I use a orange shade to paint around the street lamp. Then using Payne's Gray, I paint the upper part of the sky. As I move downward, I mix Payne's Gray with Prussian blue and continue painting until I reach the bottom of the paper. I should have been a little more careful while wetting the paper because there is excess water on the surface. If there is excess water on the paper, the glow from the orange area can get lost as the darker pigment starts flowing into that area. But since there is some glow left around the lamp, I continue with this painting. Now I elevate the board and allow the excess pigment to collect near the masking tape. I wipe those excess pigment using a wastecloth. Next, I sprinkle salt over the wet paint on the both sides. I then allow the texture to form on its own. Once the texture has developed, I use a hair dryer to dry the paper completely. Once the paper is completely dried, I remove the masking tape we placed for the street lamp. After that, I wet that area, then I use light orange to paint around the lamp, and using a damp brush I soften it and preserve the white at the center of the lamp. So this looks there is an even transition of pigment from orange to white on that area of the lamp. After that, using a dark value of Payne's Gray, I paint the top of the lamp, but some paint entered into the lantern area. Using a lighter value of Payne's Gray, I form a small triangle at the top of the lamp, which is the finial. At this point, I got a bit worried that the Payne's Gray entered the lantern, so I felt struck for a minute and I thought I had spoiled the painting. Then I realized I could fix it by lifting the pigment that entered into the lantern area using a clean damp brush. Next, I use a dark value of Payne's Gray to paint the top of the finial as you see in the video. Next, using the same dark value, I paint the bottom of the street lamp. We have to draw a straight line for the lamppost. For that, I'm using a scrap piece of watercolor paper. I draw a straight line using it as a guide. Then I make it little wider for the post and that's it. we have painted the lamp. Let's add a few details to the lamp. So on the lantern, I use paint spray to paint the metal frame on the left and right sides. In the middle, I use a very light value of paint spray, and instead of painting a solid line, I break the line as you see in the video. This is because the light is so bright that the frame in the center is barely visible. Next, using paint spray, I paint the tree trunks. And that's it, we have created a beautiful winter scene effortlessly. I hope you enjoyed watching it. See you in another video. Until then, take care and bye bye from Prema.